good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxshire, on the show tonight. It's my mucker Bridgeman and my mate Jaffa. Evening, boys.
How you doing, Ox? How you doing, Bridge? Good to be here, lads.
Well, can I just say a huge good evening to you two guys. Massive good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Jaffa, you've got your own tune. Let's hear it.
If I was king, I would rule the world.
Andrew. Andrew.
Well done. Jaffa, you're a good singer.
It's no bad, it's no bad. I like it, it's good stuff.
We getting a bit of stick, bruh?
Oh, just a wee bit. Ox, I'm scared to go out. I've got a balaclava I'm never in on.
That was the one that goes me. It was the fact you got the baker's dozen rang. We'll see we can laugh after last night. What's your thoughts, Jaffa?
Hey, I was at the game, Ox. I thought we were in the game well in it in the first 25 minutes or so until they got their goal. I think they showed they're a Champions League team. Let's not be kidding about it. They've got guys in their team at £37 million. The boy Rua that played in the middle of the park. I thought it was brilliant. I didn't think I don't think we've done that bad. If we had got the goal or the break when we had the few chances, who knows? But injuries and guys carrying knocks and stuff like that, I think got the better of us in the second half. They also, I have to say, were terrible at the play acting. I thought was atrocious. The game was marred by that in the whole of the second half.
They don't need to play that. They're good players and they don't need to go to the lengths. We had a spell before half time. It maybe came at the right time for us when we looked as if we could score. You've got to put it in the context, mate. They beat Man City 3-1 at the Etihad last year in the Champions League. You know, you're playing against a decent side with decent pedigree. They're the top-ranked team in the Europa League. We know we didn't perform. We can perform better, but we need to get out of that slump and move on. But just before we go to the view for the bridge, I just want to give a shout out to first-time listeners, Rosie and Alfred, who are listening in. Big fans of the show. Alfred, he's a top lad. Right, let's hear from the view from the bridge.
Take anymore. You from the bridge. Can't take anymore.
Oh, good evening and welcome to A View from the Bridge. From last night's game, Rangers versus Lyon, 16 September 21. It's the Europa League group game. Sorry, I couldn't even get that word out there. So here we go. Leverkusen, Slavia Prague, Lyon have all come to Ibrox, outplayed us, outfought us, and scored 2 goals. Each of these teams were high quality, who outplayed and also, again, outfought us throughout their own relevant game. Lyon are probably the best team we have come up against at Ibrox under Gerrard. We hardly got past Boateng and Denyer. Our midfield were left wanting at times compared to the pace and skill of Lyon, particularly in the second half. Throughout the game, despite all of our endeavours, the ref and his officials let us down with their bad decisions or non-decisions. Most loose balls by Rangers caused us problems, whereas loose balls by Lyon were not punished at all by us. In the first half, Balogun fouled by Silliman, 2 feet raised, sliding along the ground on his back, brings him down. No, that should have been a red card, so there was no red card. Lundstrom barged down in the box. Nothing from the ref. Kent spins away from the Lyon player and is brought down in the box. Nothing from the ref. Unbelievable. Their keeper made 4 really good saves from Aribo, Lundstrom and Kent, and 1 header from his own player underneath the bar. That was a brilliant save. I might even have saved the night answer that one. Better team in the first half. Rangers, close thing. In the second half, we did not get properly at it at all after the break. We didn't get into it at all. Our keeper made what looked like a double save, and the ball broke to the Leon players, who thumped the ball goalward, only to be cleared off the line by Golson, but bounced off Tav and into the net. What a chance we had what chance we had for winning this game just disappeared. Wright comes on for Davis and brought a bit of pace back to the team. Late tackle from behind by Boateng brings down Wright close to the box. Should have been a second yellow card for Boateng and then a red. He was very lucky. A great shot from Tav for the free kick. Hits the outside of the post and hard line Tav's. That was a really brilliant shot. Well done anyway. Tenier dives down in front of Wright, 3 yards from the linesman. No contact at all. Not at all. Linesman gives him a free kick and they get an absolute roasting from the Copeland Road. Mostly all the stadium. But the guys that saw it better was the Copeland Road in the main stand. Just shocking. It should have been a red. He should have got a red card for it. It was just a ridiculous thing to do, and the linesman bought it. Ridiculous decision, but not untypical tonight. Just as has been said earlier, they got away with quite a lot. Balogun elbowed in the face, going for a high ball. No foul. Shocking non-decision. Full time, 2-0 for them. I didn't think there was much in the game, to be honest. I didn't think there was much in the game. A 25-yarder and a defensive howler settled it. That said, I thought we seemed a bit slow all over the park. Slow to pass, slow movement, slow decision-making. We gave the ball away a lot. Same as other games, of course, this season, I think. Just not on top of our game at the moment. So hopefully the manager will do the business for that. Right, player by player. I thought McGregor 6, Tavernier 7, Golson 6, Balogun 7, Barisic 7, Lundstrom 7. Davis 6, Kamara 6, Rebo 6, Morelos 7, Kent 6. My man in the match was Lundstrom, followed by Balogun, Tav, and then Morelos. Possession, 47 Rangers, 53 Leon. Total shots 11 for Rangers, 8 for Leon. Shots on target 2 for Rangers, 3 for Leon. Corners 3 each. Fouls 15 for Rangers, 14 for Leon. Yellow cards 3 each. No, never yellow cards, sorry. It was 3 each. No, I might get that wrong there, sorry. And that's the end of a view from a bridge. I've got the figures wrong in the last one.
View from the bridge. Can't take it anymore. View from the bridge. Can't take it anymore.
Well,
It was
thanks.
3-2, by the way. 3 for Rangers. Bookings 3 for Rangers, 2 for them. Shocking figures.
I get your thing about the officials, particularly that one with Denier. I didn't think the Lundstrom one was anywhere near a penalty, or the one on Balogun Bridge. I've got to be honest with you, mate. I would seen it more than once. I didn't think either were penalties. The referee, they were conned. It's European football. We've all seen it before, Jaffa. You go to the games when they don't need it because they're good players. And the Denier one, I wonder where they learned that.
Uh-huh.
You're right, Ox. I mean,
from Rangers.
Sorry, guys. We've seen enough European football, lads, in the last 3 years under Gerrard. I mean, 50th game last night, and they all do the same. We've seen it over and over. The gameplay, they exaggerate challenges, they feign injury. It's just part and parcel of the game. And they killed the game. They managed the game out last night for about probably 35 minutes of the second half.
Aye, for the own goal, mate. They just doing everything. Took their time with free kicks, throw-ins, passed it about, just took the heat. Carry on, mate.
No, they did, Ox. That's exactly what they done. And as Bridge, he rounded up well there. Some of the stuff the instance I'd forgotten about. Their 2 goals. I mean, their first goal, I was sitting right behind it in the Sandy Jardine, and the minute it left the guy's boot, you knew it was getting buried in the bottom corner. It was a hell of a strike. It was a cracking goal, you have to say. But it was our mistake prior to it. We lost the ball. We got turned over in the middle of the park. Kent lost the ball. Lundstrom get caught out of position. But overall, I actually, like you both have said, I thought we were in the game. We were well in it in the first half. We had some great chances. Kent's chance in particular, he done well to work it out, the 1-2s. But on the night, I think Leon showed their class. They're a decent quality football team, really good quality. As I said, the boy in the middle of the park who are, 37 million. I think Arsenal are after them, Ox.
I think you've got to put it in the context, as I said earlier, mate. They beat Man City, the Etihad in the Champions League. They're spending a lot of money. They've got some decent players. We competed. I think the best team won, if I'm being honest. But we had spells in the match that sometimes pleased us. But we just look a team. It's a wee bit void of confidence, Jaffa.
Yes, I think we are, Ox. I think that's exactly what we're lacking. We all can see it. We can feel it. We're not at the same level as where we were last year. Now, whether that's, I heard today, all the COVID issues that we've had and the unsettling it's had in the team, injuries. I mean, Kent was clearly playing with an injury. We know he's been, the gaffers told us that he's been playing with an injury. He played with an injury against Celtic. Doesn't seem to have gone away. So, yep, we're lacking a lot of confidence, Ox, I think, in the team.
I agree, and Stevie G, I love the guy. I do think Kent's been playing with an injury, or listen, he's not that explosive take-off this season for long spells. He looks a bit, that'll affect his confidence, Bridgeman, because if you're not 100% fit. I blame Kent for the 2 goals last night. There's times where you've got to make sure you do the right thing. Edging your box is one of them, and then when all your teams try to run past you, you make sure you get the ball and you don't get mugged in the middle of the park. Now, Lundstrom, Bridgeman, you would have got a good view of this. I felt as if he should have got there quicker, closed them down, and made it difficult for him to come inside and made it really hard for him. I don't think that was Lundstrom's finest moment. After that, I thought he improved. Bridgeman?
Yeah, I think on that note about Lundstrom, I think Lundstrom made the wrong decision. What you were saying he should have done, that's what he should have done. And I can assure you, Copeland, where I was sitting at the Copeland, all the Copeland fans could see it. Yeah, it's there. Take it. I'm going to take it. So chances are 2 obvious mistakes by 2 of our players. 2 of our, by the way, on the night, 2 of our, shall we say it in general, a better player, Ryan Kent, and then Lundstrom. I thought Lundstrom was, for him, absolutely tremendous night. Showed out well, done everything he could. Made the one mistake, and it cost us a goal. Well, between him and Kent, it cost us a goal. By the way, it was a fabulous shot. I mean,
brilliant goal. Brilliant.
Jabba's right. You could see that arcing round and then a bend on it. It must have been a yard outside the post when it started. Fantastic stuff. When you give people a chance and open it up and let them through, instead of forcing them out to the wing or something like that, which he could have done, that's what Lundstrom should have done. But it's not there. Great goal.
He's got to get close to him for me,
Oh yes, absolutely. I think he knows that, and I think when he looks it back, he'll probably be horrified. It looks so obvious. It's what he should have done, It didn't happen. I think he had a great game. Other than that, I thought he had a great game last night. And by the way, we've been complaining about him. When I say complaining, moaning about him because it doesn't look as if they're going to be a Rangers player. On last night's game, that's a huge improvement. Best he's played for Rangers. I
would agree with that, Bridge. I would agree with that. I think he arguably our best player on the night. I don't think he quite got it for me. I thought Balogun might have shaded it as in the Rangers jersey, Jaffa. Lundstrom, Morelos, Tav for the sort of 4. McGregor didn't have a lot today, so I'm taking him out of the equation. And then the rest of them, they didn't quite turn up.
I think, that was how I saw the kind of the man in the match for us from our perspective. I saw Balogun as had a great game. I thought Lundstrom, exactly just what Bridge just said there. He got when he came, and also I felt he improved even more when Stephen Davis went off when he went into the middle of the park. I thought he was more visible. Some of he was swinging the ball across from left to right. He was opening the play up and keeping us moving. But some of our players that we've become accustomed to seeing in the last number of years in Europe, Glenn Kamara, I'm afraid, was anonymous last night. I didn't see much from Glenn at all.
Non-existent.
It was non-existent. And that's not the Glenn Kamara we're used to seeing. He's well in the game. I thought Stephen Davis was caught out a few times last night.
I've never seen Stephen make so many short passes, mate. Yeah.
Aye. Aye, exactly. Ox.
Can I come in on that? Just on that one point there.
Yes.
I think the short passes were forced by Leon. Leon flooded the midfield, so the normal pass that Stephen Davis would make would reach Kamara or whomever he passed it to, and maybe they would lose it. But they were, everything was coming out quick, and before you know it, the Leon players in front of your player and away with the ball, and it looks really bad for both the guy passing and the player receiving. And I think Kamara was probably the slowest I've ever seen him playing in patches, not all the time, in patches, and he was getting swamped by quality players, and they passed the ball in.
I'm glad you raised that point, but it's right. I love our coaching staff. They've done a fabulous job for us. But if you think back, same coach, Bayer Leverkusen, it was very similar. Then we've got Sparta Prague, Slavia Prague. Then we've had Malmo. And what have they all done? They've all made sure they get 5 into the midfield against us.
Flooded the midfield, Ops.
Aye. So, listen, mate, I was the first guy to criticise Mark Warburton. This plan A, if it's not working, you need a plan B. Michael Beale, please, when we're going up a level, please learn from our mistakes. Jaffa?
Yep, they played a 4-2, or they set out as a 4-2-3 win last night, Leon, but essentially they played a 4-5-1, or if you want, on occasions it was a 4-2-4. When they were going forward in the middle of the park, they absolutely dominated the game. So much so that that's why we've all easily seen that Glenn Kamara was played out of the game. And you're right, so was Stephen Davis. So they identified that as our engine room. And you're right, Ox, all of those instances, Malmo done the same to us a few weeks back, Leverkusen, Slavia done it last year, and they've got the better of us. And I have to say a few teams in the SPFL have done it when they flood the middle of the park. St Johnstone, for example, done it to just whatever days ago. Yeah.
We need to learn.
We do. And it would be good to see. I don't know. Listen, I'm not the manager. None of us are. Only Stevie G can decide those things, and the tacticians behind them, the brains of the outfit, as I would call them. But I would like to see us, Ox in particular, last night. We must have known what we were up against, and also that brings out another question. We're playing a 4-3-3 last night, but Kent's not 100% fit, so he can't do the tracking back. That was the bit that I noticed with Kent. He couldn't get back. And believe it or not, that's a real part of Ryan Kent's game that he's developed in the 3 years that he's been with us.
He gives you everything. Listen, I don't want to criticise too much, but it's just observations. And also, with the team, even last night when we didn't play as well as we could do, they still gave us what they had, and we have came a long way in such a short space of time. I'm not sure. I think they were semi-finals, quarter-finals, Champions League last year. I'll get Fox to check that out. And then you've got the money they've spent. So we've got to be realists. But we're always disappointed when we get beat with Rangers. I just want to give you this story before they open these phone lines, Bridge.
Go for it.
I get sent this today. No complaints last night. Very good first goal. I was in the Copeland Road 1 rear, had a great view of it. Combination of errors, misfortune for the second. My personal highlight of the night was Bridgeman struggling to get his smart card to open the turnstile. After several attempts, he realised he was using his Tesco club card.
That's the truth, by the way. That's the truth. I'll tell you, put my Tesco up. What's going on here? Picked up the wrong card, didn't I?
Do you get points for that, Bridge?
No, I was looking for them.
Bridgeman, my spies are everywhere.
By the way, it was good. Everybody was laughing. It was good.
I asked you before the show, and you said you get in no problem.
I did get in no problem. As soon as I showed my right card. When I get in, by the time I get in, what do you call him? Skipper was standing waiting for us, so he was killing himself laughing. It was quite funny, I have to say. Like one of these slapstick things you see in the telly.
Full of messages.
Oh, you go to laugh at it. You go to.
Right, let's get these phone lines open. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356-1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Sorry about that, Bridge. My
Not
spies
at
are
all. It was a truth. No problem at all, pal. No problem.
takes a dairy after you, Jaffa.
I was just going to say, come on, you sit out here with your Uncle Andrew, Bridge.
Oh dear. You've got to laugh. You've got to laugh, man. If it had been anybody else, I'd have been laughing at them. Of course I would.
Aye. Oh dear. Who pointed it out to you?
What?
Was it yourself that noticed you didn't cap?
I was really noticed that. Aye. Well, why is that not working? Oh, jeez, look at that, you fool, you know. I pulled out 2 cards together, and the top one was a Rangers card, but the bottom one was a Tesco card. So I'm trying to get in with a Tesco card. Get out of here, for God's sake.
Do you know what's behind that, Jaffa?
What's that? Behind the Tesco card?
The Platinum American Express.
Oh, listen to that. Listen to that. Shocker.
Platinum.
Shocker.
Platinum, mate.
I heard Bridget his own account with Close Brothers, Ox.
Oh, Close Brothers.
No, what he done, we went for a coffee, me and Bridge. He got the card that he says, I'll get it. And he says, oh, they don't take that here. You'll need to pay for it.
Oh, very good. Very good. By the way, that was true.
I know it's true.
Superb. Well done. That's good.
But you've got to laugh. You've got to laugh. Look, I'm going to say something about our team. I think we've got a good group of players. We just need to get a bit of confidence. We're not making enough chances, Jaffa.
No, we're not, Ox. And again, I suspect that's down to what's going on with the players, with their level of fitness, with the injured guys. I know Morelos has possibly got a nick in his hammy as well, which we've not got any update on at this stage. Yep, but we're not making enough chances, Ox, and I think it would be good to see a wee bit of freshening up with the team against Motherwell on Sunday. Roof looked quite fresh when he came on, I have to say. He was running the lines. I seen Sakala playing right on the shoulder. I was right on the line a few times. He got caught offside on one occasion. He was waiting for the ball to come through, and it didn't come through from Glenn Kamara. He got turned over at that point. I quite like the look of Sakala. I like the positions he takes up. I think he's a different way that we play, and it would be good to see these guys getting a wee run in the team, 3 or 4 games under their belt, and see what we'll see how they're going to perform.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I don't want to judge him in a cameo last night, but he delivered a bit of skill quite in front of you, Bridget. But they played in the box.
That's correct. You know, that's the way the game was going sometimes last night. Our luck wasn't there. And the way we play in the 4-3-3, it's exhausting for the 3 in the midfield. Exhausting. Because they're getting swamped.
But that's the thing. But if you're sitting watching that, Bridge, I said it after, just before they scored, I said you could see it coming, you could see the turn as they got to grips with the game, and we've got to react.
Well, we failed to react both on the pitch, I must admit, and off the pitch with our coaches, and that we just didn't. It didn't happen for us anywhere, and we're getting murdered by the officials. It just did not work for us at all. Nothing happened properly, in my opinion. Nothing happened properly at all last night.
If Michael Beale wants to give me a phone, Jaffa, it's 014-1356-1972.
Come on, Michael.
Come on, Mick. You know you want to.
Yeah.
It would be. I know. I again,
we'll
wonder.
We'll have Michael on. We're not having any mix in this show.
Jaffa, what are you doing?
Oh dear. All right, okay. Right, look, we lost again. We were against a team that I think they'll go deep into the competition, Jaffa.
Yes, definitely, Ox. You'll see them in the last 8. Easy.
Mm-hmm. I think so. And the other result went for us, yeah?
Well, that's right. It was 0-0 between the other 2 teams. I watched the highlights of it last night. I don't think either of them had a shot on target. I mean,
when we play them then.
I hope so. Listen, I think we all knew before when we got into the the Europa League, when the draw was made, Lyon were the standout, and it was the same last year when we Benfica. We managed to up our game, and I don't think Benfica were going through a transition. Lyon are not going through a transition. They had a bad last part of the season, which meant they dropped out of the top four for getting into the Champions League. Lyon are by far a better team than Benfica, in my humble opinion, from what I saw last night.
Don't disagree with that.
Our mini league is the three teams that the rest of the teams that are in it: Brøndby, ourselves, and Sparta Prague. That's we. If we can come top of that three, we're in second place. And for me, I think that's our target to get out of that group.
All right. Well, I've been joined by Big Al. Evening, big man. Well, morning to you.
Good morning,
Hi, Al.
good evening. All right.
How you doing, Al?
Brad? Not bad. Look, I think last night we came up against a better team, quite a good team.
Here, Al.
When you see it in paper. That being said, I don't think effort was lacking last night, but I think and this is the season for the start and moving forward. Like you say, we've came a long way in a short time, yeah, but I think that's a positive, actually. I don't think we could class that as a negative, but the team is lacking guile. We've no players with guile, and I'm sorry to say it, Stephen Davis last night, he looked like a 36, fair than a 37-year-old player. I think he was Kamara the same. He's just... I'm not trying. I'm just an observation. I'm not saying he's a bad player or that. But Stephen Davis doesn't have any guile, if that makes sense. He's there to do a specific role. He's not there, I don't think, to break down play, attack, move forward and shoot a goal. We don't have that in Kamara either. I think Kamara are slightly different players, but I think his all-round play is similar to that. He's there to break up play. He's there to make the short pass to somebody that can then attack, take pot shots at goal, set up play. If the manager's playing Ryan Kent and he's played him with an injury and he doesn't have confidence in other players that he can't put on that park to give him 90 minutes, I think that's quite detrimental in the manager, actually, because we all day rave about we've got this squad of players, but where are these players then? Where are the ones that are meant to come up if we've got an injury like if we can't arrest Kent? Why does he need to play in every game? Fair enough, he played well against against Celtic, but he could be rested for another game. Maybe try to manage injury better. Morelos, he's not really kicked a ball much this season, has he? To be quite honest,
they service. I agree with you.
Yeah, but the service then comes for the two midfielders that I just mentioned. Also, maybe Aribo, he doesn't seem to be getting him service if that's the midfield. We've bought this boy Bakuna and we've bought the boy Sakala. When will these boys actually get a chance to prove it?
We might see someone at the weekend, mate. Listen, I like your observation. I didn't fault their effort last night. They kept going and we had opportunities to make chances and we never took them. Mm-hmm. But I mean, they scored a wonder goal that could have been prevented. It was a mistake. And the second goal, I don't know what Ryan Kent's thinking, mate. I really don't know.
But if the managers play, that's what I'm saying. It's a bit detrimental. Not just the manager, the management team, because we always say we've got a team there behind the scenes. If he's playing him, and these things might happen, injured players, yeah. His efforts, I think, there with Kent. He's just, as you said, he's not sprightly enough. He's not got that burst of pace that he had. We've seen for him last year, and even
that's what happens if your hamstring's not right, mate.
So why are we playing him?
I don't know, mate.
That's what. Why? Because he doesn't have confidence in the players that are sitting in the squad to play him.
I really don't know.
I take it they're taking a view. I suspect, from a management point of view, must be that he's 85 or 90% fit from a medical point of view, and they must be going. Is he a better option than what we've got? Is a Ryan Kent 90% fit better than what a Scott Wright is, for example? I can only assume that must be the thinking process behind it. And Kent as well, I guess. But Gerrard often says he leaves a lot of the decisions to the players. So if Kent's saying, I'm all right to play, I'm all right to, and that's what he done against Celtic, and it worked for us against Celtic. You're right.
Right, it'll work
Didn't it
now and
work,
again,
didn't it work
but
last
it's
night?
not going to, because what's the definition of madness? Doing the same
Aye.
thing over and over again and getting the same results. And I feel that that's how the season has progressed so far for us.
Mhm.
You did mention as well, teams in Europe suss us out. You mentioned Benfica, Mold, and then also Dundee United sussed us out to a certain extent. St Johnstone. You know what I'm saying here. We seem to be doing the same things. Look, we're sitting top of the league, so I'm not complaining. I'm just.
Well, listen, mate, your observations are fair. Your observations are fair, and I get you about these games in Europe when we're going up a style.
Right.
Sometimes,
Can I just add
Yeah.
one wee thing to that, and I'll just get your feedback. Look, I was reading something, and I know we've went on about the young guys, Patterson and Kelly in the midfield.
Mhm.
I read something the other day there that said that Kelly's getting a bit disillusioned. I don't know how much truth in it, but do you think, like, this weekend it would be a good opportunity, or is there too much on the line to put that young boy in the midfield and see what he's got? Because when is the right time?
I think he's going to get past Lundstrom now. If he's going to
No,
come
I'm talking
to the
about
fore.
Davis.
I mean, on Thursday, you know what I think of Stephen Davis. I've made it
Yeah.
abundantly clear on here.
And I was
Last
really
night,
panicking about coming
he was
on here
appalling.
and bringing Davis up.
No, it was appalling. It was appalling. It was appalling. He looked leggy, he looked tired, and he maybe had one of the worst games he's had, apart from maybe Kilmarnock when they returned to the club. He was poor, his passes were short, it just wasn't happening for him, and he didn't have a good game. The things that he usually does well, the simple things, just didn't happen for him last night, and they get that deep. I don't know if they done it deliberately or he was trying to get space. He made it even harder for the boys in the midfield. The big thing,
he's up against guys 10 years younger, approximately.
Aye, good players as well. Some of them, you know.
Aye, good players, yeah.
Aye, they're good players. But what I kind of get with the team at the moment, I think I've said I'll take this to Jaffa, then Bridge, and then I'll bring yourself back in. What I kind of get is, where is Ryan Kent playing? Because he ain't a number 10. Jaffa?
Well, he lines up as a number 11, doesn't he? As a left winger, or he goes to the right wing, Ox. But he's supposed to play that channel and pedal back. And I agree. You see him all over the place. He has a free role. I've sometimes heard Steven Gerrard say he can play across the front. He's got a free role. But then you see him back defending. And that's the bit that I would say Ryan Kent's added to his game, playing for Rangers. But he can't do that when you're 90% fit or 85% fit. And that's essentially what happened last night. His hammy went, it pinged when he tried to open up his legs in the second half. But I think we need to freshen up the team. And I think it would be good to see Lundstrom, if Lundstrom's going to get a start, what I was indicating on Sunday against Motherwell. And I would also like to see Scott Wright getting a start. I think Scott Wright was good when he came on last night. He's intricate. He wants to play the 1-2s, which I think open up teams. We're at our best when we start playing the 1-2s and the give and goes.
All right, Bridgeman.
Yeah, I actually agree with Jaffa, particularly that last part there. But we should be at our best when we're doing these 1-2s. We've proven it time and time again. Last night, they stepped up. Every single one of their midfielders stepped up and ended up in front of our midfielder and received the ball. That's what it looked like last night. But I have to say, Ryan Kent looks as if he's playing in a position he's no used to. And I don't know if he thinks he's a number 10 or has been told to play like a number 10, but sometimes he was found completely out of position. Not on the pitch, but not on the pitch, if you know what I mean, as far as football's concerned. So I don't know whether he thinks he should be coming back or he shouldn't be coming back or he should step forward. I just don't know. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he's been told to play there and that's the way you play. You know how I think Ryan Kent's just fantastic. Him and Borna Barisic should be playing together to their strength. Push the ball up the wing to wee Kent, let him run at it, see what he does. We never did that very much last night. Never did that very much.
He's a boy who set as a light against Real Madrid, and in the left hand side of the left winger, if you like. And now, most games he seems to be playing inside. He gets the ball far too deep for me. Given it free roll, I don't think it suits him bigger.
No, but I think that might have exasperated his injury if he's running about more than he probably should be running about. If he hangs to that byline and the touchline, receives the ball and puts the crosses across, puts him in the mixer for Morelos or Roof, whoever. He's no. He does seem to be all over the park. Look, I like Ryan Kent. I think he's a wonderful player. I think he was one of the players of the season last year. He's just not been on it, and I think it does a disservice to him if the management are saying, "Look, you got to get a free roll, but you're only 80% fit." I think that's crazy. You didn't manage your players like that. I don't think he's maybe too nice a guy to put his hand up and say, "I really can't achieve what you're asking of me." He's obviously keen. He's wanting to play. He's wanting to produce for Rangers. He's wanting to date for the team, and I understand that as well. But he's going to get a rest now. So I hope he's not for too long. I hope he comes back firing on all cylinders. But yeah, I think I don't know. He's obviously had that bad injury, but I think that the management team have created a problem there. They made a bigger problem for themselves. They maybe should have rested him at the beginning of the season. And on regards to Scott Wright, I love that wee player as well because I think he's forward thinking. I think he plays with a smile on his face. I think he likes to drive forward. I think he's a player that if he gets into the right positions and he gets more confidence, you'll see shots coming for the young boy. I'd get him in the team more often than not, pardon me.
This is time for people. This is time for people to take their chance, Bridge. Take their chance. Adversity sometimes gives people their chance, and they take it, and they're in the team.
Absolutely. I think it depends how Kent, if he's going to recover quickly or not. How the manager will go. I don't know if Davis was injured or he just got pulled off because of he wanted a fresh change. And that young boy Kelly could walk into that team tomorrow or Saturday, and he actually could, and still be a great player for us. And when Lundstrom's playing there, you never know your luck. You just don't. Because that could be a big improvement on Rangers the way they were. Based on the play last night, just only last night, because you know how I feel about Sir Stephen Davis. He's just magic. But he wasn't just magic last night. He just sometimes wasn't in the game for small patches, and that's a killer for a central midfielder.
Absolutely top drawer player, top.
Unbelievable, yes, of course.
Yeah. But the sands of time wait for no man Jaffa, no even me.
No, that's true, Ox, and I think we always, as Rangers supporters, we all love Stephen Davis. I think he's a great footballer. I think he's a fantastic human being, just a top-notch guy all round. But there will come a time, Ox, and sometimes that can happen quickly, or it can happen slowly, and things can trigger it. If Stephen's carrying an injury also, or if he was just outplayed last night, maybe outthought with a young guy. Hussein Uar, who played against him, who I thought he ran the show last night. I thought he looked amazing as a footballer. I really enjoyed watching him. I'm being honest from a football perspective, just what I saw last night. But yeah, Stephen Kelly, if he's the man, or if it's Lundstrom that's going to get in, or Bakuna's going to get a chance, we need to freshen the squad up and get some fresh legs on it. Yep.
Like we've seen players like that before. We've seen older players, your Pirlos and different players like playing on to later in life, if you like. But what happened with their players, I think, if you observe it, is they were supplemented with other players run about them that done maybe the running, done more of the tackling, and you utilise that the brain of Stephen Davis. Maybe the mix run about Stephen Davis isn't correct. Yeah, maybe the Bakuna guy.
He's outnumbered in there, mate. It's 5-on-3.
Yeah, I'm talking in general terms. If we want to keep him playing for as long as possible, he has to be supplemented with players If it's 5-on-3, well, you need to put another 2 players in if you want to play at 5-on-5. But what I'm talking about is if he's got that nous to play the short pass, you then need somebody that can do the running for him to pick up the balls or do the longer passes, somebody that's going to break forward. I just don't think the mix is correct. I think Aribo in the midfield, and I think Kamara to a certain extent in the midfield, it doesn't mix with Stephen Davis if we want to keep him playing. I think we need people with better legs and a bit more guile in the midfield alongside Stephen Davis.
Maybe it's on you go, Jaffa.
Sorry, Ox. Yeah, you crack on, mate. Go for it.
I just feel Stephen Davis, he's like the rest of our team. He just looks as if he needs something to spark his season. He's been great all season. He's done okay, but he's not been startling. And like the rest of the team, he just looks short of confidence. Jaffa.
I mean, you're right, Ox. They do look short of confidence. We've not really put in a brilliant performance like we did last year or the year before, the kind of heights. And I heard a few guys round about me last night saying, whatever happened to the high press that we used to play? I don't know. The high press is not even quoted as a tactic any longer. We used to come out and try and really push teams on the back foot for the first 15, 20 minutes of the match and try and essentially win the match in that period. Is it tactics? Do we need to change tactics? I mean, sometimes I look at the way you look at us when we're in position, when we're actually in situ of the match. It doesn't look like a 4-3-3 to me. It looks more like a 4-4-2 sometimes. But if it's a 4-4-2, and I think even Alfredo Morelos plays better than a 4-4-2, in my opinion, just with 2 guys up. Because I think sometimes the 4-3-3, there's too much space between each of the players because it can become quite rigid. So is it down to tactics? Do we have the personnel to go to a 4-4-2? Should we just set up as a 4-4-2? I don't know. That's a bigger debate, isn't it?
Java, I'd love them to go for a 3-5-2. They need to get in the players that will suit that right enough. They've not quite got all the players they would need. But I love a 3-5-2. It allows you to change the 4-3-3 very quickly. But you can stay in a 3-5-2. It's brilliant. I think it's lovely.
If I was setting that team up last night, Jaffa, yeah, and as I said, Michael can phone me. He knows my number. Right? I would have went with the same back 4 because we didn't have a lot of choice, and that was it. And then last night I would have went with Scotty Arfield, Lundstrom, Stephen Davis, Kamara, and Aribo. Aribo on the right, Kamara on the left, and the 3 in the middle, yeah? And then Morelos up front for an hour. Give us everything you've got for an hour. And then you can maybe look to change it. And I'd have brought on Sakala. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would have done. But goals change games. And if they hadn't scored there, Wonder Strike and Kent shot goes in, you're saying they got it spot on, didn't you?
Well, exactly, Oaks.
Right, okay. Big Al, come on, he was right. His observation of the game was right. We're criticising last night's performance because we know we can do better, but we're realists as well, Big Al, innit?
Yeah, but what you've said there, we know we can do better, but we've been known we can do better the whole season. That's the frustrating thing about it. Just on I think you kind of mentioned there the subs. I mean, when they brought the subs on, the game was gone. Is that not part of football? Is to when you're behind the 8 ball, is to change it before it's over the hill. It's out of sight. You know what I mean? Is that a criticism? Is that a fair?
You've got 5 subs, mate. You've got 5 subs. You've got to try and get.
You know what I mean? Before it's totally out your sights, you want to change it then, shake it up then, and if you look. I'm the football strategist and use maybe a wee bit better than me, but if we're seeing it, there's 5 in the midfield, we're playing with 3 and we're not winning the ball, is that no? Because Michael Beale, by all accounts, is the man. He's a Nostradamus of football. He writes books and all this. But how's he not seeing it?
I mean, they set up last night, Al, with two. they set up with the two holding midfielders. They played. They were. If you look at how Leon actually started the game, they had 4 at the back, 2 sitting midfielders, and then 3 in midfield and 1 guy up front in Salami. And I know his name's not
Is he
Salami.
Hungarian or Danish?
Salami. I've got to
Is it
laugh.
mild
No
or
offence. No offence to him. No offence to him. But it sounded
Not at
quite
all.
funny there.
Oh, no, I'm sure he'll find that funny. That was a great joke. That was like up there with Oxy's jokes.
It wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take much. Al. It wouldn't take much. Talking about jokes. We've been joined by George EK. No, you personally, George. Just
Watch yourself, George. Watch yourself.
All right, lads, man. After that performance last night, if you can call it a performance, it was absolutely woeful, I thought. I mean, honestly, man, do you know what? I can't go seeing people go, we're up against a Champions League team. See, if you're up against a bigger team, you raise your game and play better than that. You know what I'm talking about? See, last night, honestly, God, see, when you seen throw-ins, our players were static. They weren't even running after, was not running after the ball at all. I don't know, man. I just thought, we're bereft of ideas at the moment. We really are. We just the thing with the high intensity is pure gone by. You know what I mean? And are we showing teams too much respect? Is that what it is? You know what I mean? I'm like, that first goal was completely preventable. By the way, it really is. You know what I mean? I just don't understand how he stopped the letter and cut inside to shoot. I really don't. I mean, the second one's a calamity and all, man. But honestly, man, we've no started the season. But I mean, let's be honest about it. We played Real Madrid, by the way, and we outclassed them, man. And that made it look as if, like, and it was like killing that swing. And I was like, look, we played them and we outplayed them, and they made us look to ourselves, oh, here, by the way, it looks like we're in for a good season this season. After that, we've just not played with that intensity at all. We've just like, it's like, and we don't seem to have a plan B. You're right, we don't have a plan B. Teams have worked us out easy, by the way, you know what I mean?
when you're predictable.
Like
When you're
Sakala coming on for 10 minutes. What's that about? You know what I mean? I was screaming for Scotty Arfield last night because Davis was dead in his feet, totally.
It was when you're predictable, George, it's easy to stop, isn't it?
Aye, it is. It is easy. But, as you said, he writes all these books and all the rest of it, by the way. Surely he's got a plan B.
Mm-hmm. As much as I've enjoyed what we've watched for the last year, I'm talking about against the big games. Bayer Leverkusen, I mean, it was a couple of seasons ago. We're still work in progress. Slavia Prague.
We tried against them. I mean, George Emerson scored a heater that night, didn't he?
That's 3 games at Ibrox. Slavia Prague, we go through if we keep a clean sheet with those 2 goals. I know the circumstances behind it. Malmo, we go 1-0 up. They go down to 10 men. We lost 2 goals. Last night, we lost 2 goals. You've got to learn for it in bigger games, George. It's not the SPL. You're not playing
100%, mate. You've got to raise your game. We're in the Europa League, by the way.
And you've got to also give the players the tools.
Well said, mate. Well said. We've got that Bakuna sitting on the bench, man. When's he going to get a chance?
Sunday, mate.
I want to see what this guy's all about.
Mm-hmm. I've been asked a question. Don't ask me why, George. Have you still got your moustache?
I've got a tash and a beard, mate.
Right, okay. Somebody's asked me, and I went, I don't know. I'll ask him.
I would have tash and a beard for years.
Right, okay. There you go.
But is that a goatee beard or a Van Dyke or what is it?
A go-to. Is that a go-to beard?
No, it's a Peter Sutcliffe number.
Oh my God.
So you're like an Eastfield Bright hipster.
Oh dear, brilliant, George, brilliant.
You've got to laugh here. You're great.
Listen, George, we also have to put into context. They beat Man City 3-1 at the Etihad last year.
I know that, mate, man. But I just think, honestly, if you're playing against a bigger team, you raise your game. You used to do it when you're younger. You're playing against this team, man, at the top of the league. You raise your game. Maybe you lose with the odd goal, but at least you gave it better than you normally did. You know what I mean?
I think for 25 minutes, George, we were well in the game. We did raise our game.
Be a 25 minutes team now.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, fair point. We did fall away. We did when they got their goal.
What's that, mate?
I'm saying we did fall away when they get their goal, and then we came back
100%,
into
Mary.
it. The last 5 or 10, with a good couple of chances. Kent had a great chance for an equal. Their goalie made a brilliant. That was a brilliant save.
Right.
Great save.
I know. And Hingmate once we should have scored an hour, you know what I mean? He actually should have scored.
Well, if you don't hit the target, you don't score, George. Simple as that.
Well said, mate. Exactly, mate. Exactly.
But can we be too critical in this group of players, Big Gal? Because they have took us to where we are, and as you say, we're top of the league, and we haven't kicked the ball.
I know. Well, look, no, I don't think we can be too critical. But look, you're maybe just looking at a group of players that needed more freshening up. Maybe the players have just peaked. Some of the players have just peaked, and that's it. That we got the best of them last year. Now they're on the decline, which isn't very good if you want to win another league title. So I don't know. I'm not want to be too critical on my team because I'm very proud of my team. But in the same respect, man, pull your socks up, get the finger out. Come on.
Well said. Well said.
You can't listen, mate. I think everybody's fair on here. Most of the people come on are fair. How they see the match. Me and Bridgeman disagree all the time. You can only see what you think. And to me, we're not playing well. But anybody that thinks we're playing well all season, we ain't.
Well, no,
I got that feeling, Ox. For the Tranmere game. I just thought in that game, I know it was only a friendly, but just when I was sitting watching, I was like, "What's happening here?" It looked total, and for me, that's carried on. We're the top of the league, and I think, as I said the other day, we're only people who will knock us off the top of the league as ourselves because we're there now. If the season goes like this, it'll be a very frustrating season. But if we win it, well, hey ho. But it'll be a big season, big man.
Here's a message.
Can I say something else?
I don't talk when you're performing, George. You know
Never, Mucker.
I've been setting this for Big Al, the Mr. S skipper. If Big Al wants legs in the midfield, how about Daisy Duke?
Daisy Duke, aye. She'd be good on the balls, wouldn't she?
On you go, George.
We're always saying, we've been banging on for the last 40 years about how European players, South American players, foreign players, i.e., right now I'm talking about who do these like Hingme kid on Hingme's, they fall down here and they fall down there and roll over and all the rest of it, by man. And all the days moan about it. Why don't we get a bit cuter about that? And I know it's wrong, but at the end of the day, it's all about 3 points, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how we win the game, as long as we win the game.
Liam Craig done it.
I don't think it's in our DNA for the dark arts, just as a club and as a people.
It's definitely in there.
Don't think but we as a people, mate, we're no cheats. I'd rather go.
Can I come else? Yeah.
I know.
Foxy's just never been caught. Big Al, he's just never been caught.
If nobody sees it, it never happened. But I just don't think it's in our DNA because the dark arts is something for other teams that they. I think I know what you're saying. I really do, but
caught across you.
Sorry.
I've been joined by James from Tennessee. How are we doing, James?
Good, yeah.
All right, James.
Yeah,
Hi,
good.
James.
I was thinking about you during the week, James.
Were you? What were you saying?
I was wondering where you were. I thought you maybe passed away or something. I never seen any evictions in the
For Top Scout?
I thought you'd been the Times or the Observer, the New York Post or something. But no,
I'm still here. I think I'll live forever. I think I'll live forever.
Can I tell Big Jimmy that though?
I was just going to talk about Big Jimmy because I was talking about, remember that Ellenkamp situation. He said, we don't want Ajax reserves. Well, Hertha Berlin bought him for $3 million and he's just scored the goal against Cedric's team. And Cedric's playing very well, which he should have been playing in the centre forward position instead of right midfield because he's working hard. He made the first goal for the German team and we let him go. And also, he had a chance that one of the guys wouldn't pass to him, and he would have scored, which was a problem when he was at Rangers. People wouldn't pass to the guy, and and he'll be worth a lot more. So Ellenkamp will go for 6 million plus. I suggested him, but Jimmy said we don't want Ajax reserves. And I've got tons of players who did a lot better than the players we've got in the continent. Faster players, aggressive, skillful players that go for nothing, and etc. And I'm just thinking,
James,
yeah.
see that player that used to strike it used to be with Midtjylland. Is he still there? Van Jurek.
Yeah, he's away in loan. No, he wasn't good enough. I'll admit that. I was wrong there.
Right.
Bellingham, he's away in loan. Midtjylland loaned him out. But another player from Midtjylland who I suggested, Andres Deer, went for 6 million, and we could have bought him for 3. He went to Ruben Kazan in Russia, and we could have bought him as well. And there are tons of players. We've got too many players that are too slow. And for instance, Kamara, for instance, how did they not play him the same way he plays for Finland? Let him roam around, pass the ball, receive it, etc. I'm just saying the players we've got are too slow, and there's other players in the continent that are much better, and we really need to move the ante.
And you come, Bridge, you were coming in there, mate, before we go to the tune. Unless you want to sing live, James, of course.
Well, put it this way: my guitar's not set up, so
go on, James, sing. Listen, what I was trying to say to you is what we need to remember about last night is we were playing against a team. Their goalkeeper was absolutely brilliant against us. Their centre half was probably one of the best centre halves in Europe at the time. Hardly put a foot wrong and was tough when needed to be. And that day, Denier had a marvellous game apart from one where he did a dive. But other than that, he's a very, very quick player and picked the ball off our players' toes at times. So I think we were, how can we say it? We were quite up against it. We had to be at our best, and sometimes during the game we weren't.
Yeah, but we're still not giving players a chance. Like Iton, for instance, I would have dropped Morelos, because Morelos has never beat a goalkeeper in all the years I've watched him. You get a striker that can't beat a goalkeeper, take it to the side and score, he's got a problem. And why has nobody come in for him all these years? For instance, we should have changed the team and sold half the team at the start of the season and brought in brand new players. And like Ellenkamp, maybe kept Hitton instead of working with certain players. Some of the players are too many of his favourites, to be honest, and he plays them out of position. Hitton never get a chance in the centre forward. He's playing on the right all the time.
Did Morelos take the ball from a wee back heel from Daniel, what was his name, Daniel Candias, and ran something like 45 yards and put the ball in the net past the keeper?
Yeah, how many years
ago? That was 3 years
that?
ago.
Yeah,
that doesn't matter.
How many years?
You just said you've never seen him doing it.
Well, how many years? And can he do it now? I can go past the goalkeeper.
Oh, right, okay. Come and sign for us, James.
Okay.
Right. Get yourself to mute. We're going to have a tune, and then we're going to go right into the press conference for Stevie G. It's the one of the day because he talks about some of the stuff for last night. So get yourself a mute, and let's have a tune. Chosen by Old School Blue. Fox is still in a huff, by the way, so he's on all. And then we'll go to the press conference with Stevie G.
You must wear a Rangers scarf and Rangers tie. You must wear a Rangers bonnet without a C upon it. You want to be a Rangers till you die. You must hold your Rangers scarf up in the air and sing follow, follow without a care. You must hold your scarf up, hold your Rangers scarf up and sing follow, follow without a care. Bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. Oh, the bouncy, 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 na 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 na. You want to do that bouncy one more time? the Glasgow Rangers all the time. You must love the Glasgow Rangers, love the Glasgow Rangers, love the Glasgow Rangers till you die. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. Oh, the bouncy, 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 bounce, bounce, bounce. Bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. Oh, the bouncy, 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 na 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 na. Oh, the bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. Oh, the bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. Oh, the bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. The bouncy, 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 na 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 na. Oh, the bouncy, 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 bounce, bounce, bounce.
Morning, Stephen. I just wonder how you've learnt over the last few years about balancing the demands of this particular spell of the season when you've got so many games through the course of the week and so many important games.
I think it's just treating each game in isolation. Obviously, we've put big effort into last night's games with no reward. So I think today is a case of picking the boys up and getting them recovered because the Motherwell game comes on us pretty quickly. So, you know, I've just been in the doctor's room for an update in terms of who could be a doubt or who's out of the weekend and seeing what we've got available, getting them recovered today, training the boys who weren't involved. And then, you know, tomorrow we'll go tactically into the Motherwell game. So it happens pretty quick. The games are taken fast. I think it's 3 games in 6 days. So we've got no time to dwell. We need to move on pretty fast.
Before I move on, I suppose I should ask you what the doctor said to you then.
Well, we've certainly got a problem with Ryan Kent. He'll be sent for a scan. Today we'll know the extent of the injury. Probably late afternoon or early evening, but he's obviously going to be out at the weekend. And, you know, if the doctor's prediction is right, he could miss a few weeks, but we'll know more this evening. We've also got Alfredo Morelos with a bit of a tight hamstring. Obviously not on Ryan Kent's level. We might send him for a picture as well, just to be sure on that one. So Alfredo's a doubt as well. Besides that, everyone else seems to have come through okay.
Has Ryan been playing with something over the course of the last few weeks or not? He's not quite hit the heights he set last season, albeit they were quite high.
No, I think Ryan had a rest in the international break and has come back. He trained well in the week. I don't think he's been carrying any problem that's got worse. I think this is just an isolated incident. You can see clearly that he's pulled up with something. Hopefully it's not as bad, you know, as it looked. And the good thing is, you know, in the next few weeks, if it is a hamstring injury, that might be 3 to 4 weeks, which they normally are. We obviously got an international break in that period to try and get him ready, but I think he'll definitely be missing for a few weeks if the doctor's prediction's right.
Hi, Stephen. You mentioned last night you didn't think the squad had hit top gear yet. I was just wondering, in your eyes, what do you think is maybe missing or what is stopping the guys from reaching that level?
I think having everyone fit and available and in top form, that's a manager's perfect scenario. But for different reasons, and these are not excuses, just for different reasons, it doesn't feel like, or I don't feel like, I've had a real settled squad with everyone in a good place and available, so we can really pick our strongest team and try and get some rhythm. You know, and repeat teams. It seems like we're, with COVID, with injuries, with suspensions, with people arriving late, we found that really difficult. But it is what it is. We have to deal with that. And hopefully, in due course, we can get a real settled team and squad and people fit and available. But again, last night, it looks like we're going to miss Ryan for a few weeks. So it's another frustration for us.
Yourself and Tavernier both mentioned last night about the need for belief maybe up front of that killer instinct. Is that maybe a surprise considering what they achieved last season? That's maybe missing this first part of this season.
Well, look, I think that's what you always strive for, especially at a club like Rangers. But you've also got to take into consideration the level of player and the level of team you're up against. You know, Leon are not just going to let us be gung-ho and play with fantastic style and create all kinds of top chances, so it looks great on the eye. We're playing against top teams and top players. We tried and we pushed and we created some real decent half chances in the game, but for us to get to the next stage, we need to be better in the final third. So that's the reality on how it looked last night. But over the course of the season, we've got more than enough tools in our armoury to score goals, and on the back of that, hopefully that brings us success.
You mentioned last week after the match at St Johnstone that it's squads that win you titles. Coming up for, as you say, so many games back into this kind of Thursday, Sunday routine, is this a chance for the squad to really show the depth and the quality that's in it?
Well, I think I've got no choice because, you know, there's no guarantees that I can pick Alfredo come the weekend. Ryan is a certainty to be out. So we sort of have to roll from game to game. And for me, I think with COVID always in the background, it's very difficult to predict. You have to almost wait till the last minute before you can confirm a team. We're still testing, obviously, a couple of times a week. And with the injuries that we've got at the moment, it's very difficult to find that rhythm and that settled team that I'm looking for. So I think the squad, even more so than the previous 3 years, is going to be more important come the end of the season because it seems like the team's going to be changing an awful lot more, and that's not going to be down to just rotation. It's going to be down to COVID and injury issues as well.
And in terms of Sunday, it's obviously Flag Day, which is a big day for the fans, but for the players, it's a case of shutting that noise out and just concentrating on getting the job done.
Yeah, I think the fans deserve that moment. Unfortunately, it couldn't be at the beginning of the season. We've had to be patient, but I think it's all about the fans enjoying that. They deserve it. We're really pleased for them that they can enjoy that. We'll obviously be aware of it and we'll respect it, of course. But for me, the key thing from the weekend is to try and take 3 points. Simple as that.
One of the journalists last night mentioned John Lundstrom. He claimed that the crowd was getting in John's back. I see in today's papers there's a full-page article which is not entirely complimentary. However, last night I thought, especially after Davis went off, that Lundstrom kind of stepped into the space, dominated the space, was quite aggressive. When he was signed, much was made of his defensive qualities. But have you seen something in Lundstrom which makes you want to develop him with his attacking qualities?
I think John's capable of both. I've not read the article. I obviously heard a couple of moaning groans, but that wasn't just directed at John. I think that was a frustration just because we couldn't really find the cutting edge in the final third. That's normal. So I don't take no noise of any outside noise. I thought it was John's strongest game. I thought he got stronger when he moved into the middle of the pitch. I thought he grew into the game, and it's probably, in my opinion, his strongest performance over the 90 minutes for us. So I take no notice of any groans, and I certainly don't take any notice of anyone who writes an article. That's absolute nonsense.
In terms of the game last night, the Lyon coach was pretty complimentary towards Rangers, and he said that one of your great strengths that he'd warned his team about was that you'd been able to develop the squad over the last number of years. In terms of your additions to the squad this summer, did you get exactly what you wanted, or were there a few unfinished bits of business?
We made the most of what was available. That's all I can say on that. In terms of what the Lyon coach said, he's someone I've got the utmost respect for. We've played against two of his teams. I think Leverkusen was some time ago, but I felt on the side there was a real big gulf in class. It felt that way from the side, and over the both games, I think we were dominated and controlled for the majority of both 90 minutes. I felt last night that we took huge strides. I thought we, at times, looked a good team. We were more than a match for Lyon. Okay, they got the both goals, one each half, coming off the back of our two mistakes, if you like. But I didn't see that gulf, and I did feel like we were competitive. And I do see Lyon on a similar level to a Leverkusen, you know, two Champions League team who've gone to the latter stages of the Champions League in the last 3-4 years. So I don't feel the same this morning as I did after Leverkusen. So for me, that's progress. But at the end of the day, we lost 2-0. We're at Rangers. We need to react and bounce back at the weekend. That's my fair assessment of the game.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, well, back, gentlemen.
Yeah, indeed.
All here.
Right, Jaffer,
correct.
Stevie G, he's always very honest. Yeah, obviously defends the players. That's his job. I wouldn't expect any more for the guy. Very honest. He's a great assessment of the game. I don't think he's far away from a lot of the stuff we've been said.
Yeah, sounds like we're all. I mean, he was clearly frustrated as well. The cutting edge, we didn't have it. So he mentioned that he didn't feel the same way this morning, what he did after Leverkusen. So he takes that as a progress. I can only see how I saw Ox at the game. I thought, as I said at the beginning, thought we'd done well at the start of the game. But Leon had a good side. Can't take that away from them. They're a decent football team. So are we.
Even their coach said that. Bridgman?
Yeah, I said a wee bit earlier, and I can't say it enough. I think that Leon are probably the best team that we've met in the European era under Gerrard. Really good team, a really, really good team. Watch the way they passed the ball last night, and they just cut us to pieces at times. You know, from one wing to the other. No, I don't mean full passes. I mean across the field passes through the channels, picking up their own players. Wonderful stuff to watch. The ball control was excellent. And yet, as the manager said, it was a poor goal for us to lose, but a great goal for them to score. A great goal it was. Can't argue with it. But there was a couple of times there we should have been able to do something about that. Excuse me. And the second goal was just a stramash in the box, by the look of it. So I can't say too much. I think we did very well against that team last night, considering that they are a top quality team. I mean a top quality team with a top quality manager, and that's the truth.
Yeah, and you come, Georgie boy, before we go to James P.
Well, I agree with what Gerrard says. Excuse me. He says that that he thought the golfing class between Bayer Leverkusen and Rangers was massive. I thought there was a big golfing class there. I didn't think that golf was there last night. I just think we turned up last night. Same as a lot of games. No turned up. The high intensity's gone. Quick passing, and so much. It was supposed to be 5 seconds. They get the ball. We try and get the ball back as quick as we can. That just wasn't there.
James P. You'll need to come off of mute, James. If you're listening, you're on mute. We'll go to Big Al.
Yeah, I forgot the question, but what I picked up for the press conference was he's not happy with his signings, is he?
You could take that, Al. You could take that. Maced it the best
we could get.
Yeah, best we could get.
He could have answered that a little better. That's a shot across the bows. I don't think he's happy then. So there maybe in lies the problem. He's been away from home a long time as well. I'm just saying that's what I picked up for that. Look, there is your Leverkusens and your Leons, club stature wise, support wise, big club wise, they can't touch us. But what they've got is the financial back, and they play in bigger leagues, and they'll always be better than us on the pitch in regards to buying a better. They're shopping in a different market, and then the manager's just answered that himself by saying, "Done the best we could." So, I'm proud of my team. As I say, I don't mind it sound negative. We're top of the league. We're top of the league, and that's really at the end of the day. I want 56. I want 57, 58, 59, and 60. And then,
well said.
When I get to 60, I didn't mind having a break. For a year, and then we get back into it again. I get 65, but I want that 60. I want the 60.
James,
I'll be 50 then, and I'll celebrate my birthday. That'll be good.
Just a boy.
60. Just a boy, yeah.
I thought it was a good assessment from the manager. He spoke well. and he was right. So I'll probably be coming next March. By the way, I'll try and get this fridge magnets to you if I meet you again, which I didn't do the last time.
Remember, yeah, starts at 3 o'clock, James. Remember that.
And Big Al, listen, so nice to hear from you. You're always thinking of me, which is good.
I know. I thought when you were on silent there, I was just about to check the obituaries in the London Times again. I was like, you can't put me off. Well, Big Al. No, that's genuine. I was thinking about you because I'd missed your input.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to give you a rest, a little rest, and let great people like George from EK. I love his stories about his couch. They make me smile.
You would enjoy that there because you would enjoy his house because I think we found out it's a bit like a bordello, and that's not far from you, isn't it? Bordellos, you're not far from the border.
Yeah, I'm no Bob Bordello. Behave yourself,
George. Bordello.
Right, enough.
George, I'll tell you.
Wait till you hear your name mentioned. This is turning into a rabble. Always does when that Big Al's on. Right.
Thanks very much.
No, only pulling your leg, big
man. Cool. I'm going silent. I'm just going to make some text mix. I'll be back.
All right, mate. Good. Right. Make us awesome. Right.
I'll tell you what, Oxchair.
Yes, mate.
I'm going to knock off now and let some other people phone in because just received a couple of texts there, you know what I mean? So I need to get back to them.
All right, no bother, mate.
I'll just listen to the rest of the show, you know what I mean? All the best, lads, man.
Right, speak to you soon, Big George.
All the best, George.
Cheers, George.
Take care. Remember.
Cheers, Georgie boy.
Right, I just want to touch on, but obviously Stevie G mentioned the press article and dismissed it. Have you ever seen so much rubbish in this media, Jaffa, than has been in the last? Somebody would think there'd be more court cases concerning a certain club again. All of a sudden, the biggest story in the world during the global pandemic is about 2 ex-players of a certain club can't get to commentate on a game. For whatever reason. I've
seen that.
Oh, just unbelievable. But let's not fall into the trap again. They two people publicity they're fired. But I think the club done the right thing for a lot of reasons. Jaffa. Just Jaffa.
Yep. Happy that happened, Ox. I say, as you allude to, no oxygen from me. I wouldn't. They're not worth it. But it was the right decision, and I was delighted, utterly delighted, that the club have shown the backbone that we've all been asking for many, many years. So no, couldn't have happened to a better two pair of you know whats.
Right, I might move on to Saturday. Here's a question for you, James P. Then Bridgeman.
Yeah.
What's your team?
I would play McGregor, Patterson, Golson, Hollander, Golson, Balogun, Bassey. I would play Kelly. I would play Davis and Kamara up front. I would place what's his name? The centre forward is Sakala. I'd play him up front. I would play his Hadji back.
Sure.
Yeah, if Hadji's back, I'd play him, and I'd play right. That's 4-3-3.
Bridgeman.
4-3-3.
I think I wouldn't play Patterson nor Bassey at the weekend. I would keep the back line as much as possible from last night. Goalkeeper, I wouldn't be surprised if he brings in young McCrory to keep him getting some games. It wouldn't surprise me in the least. But the defence, I've already said. The midfield, I think Lundstrom deserves to stay in. In all honesty, I think he had a great game. Let's see what he does in a Scottish League game when it gets a wee bit tougher. I don't know if it got any tougher than last night or enough. But I definitely have Lundstrom. in place of Davis. I think Davis needs to stop and have a wee rest. That's my own opinion, of course, So it would be Davis, Kamara, and who did he play at left half? Oh goodness, I've forgotten. It could be Aribo in the left there, and
Kamara was
right.
there last night.
Kamara was there last night. Yeah, I do apologise, but it was Lundstrom, Davis. So I wouldn't have Davis in. So who would I have in then? I need to
That's
think on that.
22 players you picked.
No, it's not. That's not. And I would have Adji on the right if he's available. I would have Roof through the middle and Wright on the left.
Okay. Jaffa, you give it any thoughts?
Yeah, the back four I would leave, like Bridges stated there, I would leave the back four. In fact, the back five I would leave it as is. I'd leave McGregor in goals, Balogun and Golson, and I'd leave Tav. I thought Tav was quite good last night, to be honest. I quite enjoyed watching his performance last night. And Barisic was the opportunities he had to get down the wing was good. He was a wee bit weak again going back, but we always know that with Barisic. Middle of the park, I would have Lundstrom in the middle of the park. I'd probably have Bacuna on as well. And I'd like to see him get a start, see what he's made of. And on the right-hand side, I would either switch Kamara with Arfield or leave Kamara as is. And up front, I would have Roof and Sakala and Wright up front.
Who are you playing through in the middle?
Roof.
All right. We've been joined by Alex Fawashi. How are we doing, Alex?
Good evening, Ox here. Bridgeman, Jaffa, everybody else is in the panel there. How are we all doing, lads?
Alex. Give us a song.
Good to hear from you, mate.
Aye, good. Aye, just about last night. So you can't fault us for effort and that, but that team are just a wee bit more class for us. And that's the bottom line. Midfield, they're on over the top as in the midfield. No credit to them. But Rangers, I was quite disappointed in the attacking sense. When they seem to move forward, they don't take that extra bit. The boldness is not there to take shots on and that. The only decent thing was when Lundstrom went right through at the end, but at the beginning of the game, I thought he did quite well. I did mention the Wednesday I thought he would play. I was proved right there, but at that level of football, let's be quite truthful here. I've said it before, you've got to be 8 out of 10 to try and compete with these teams, especially at that level. And there was no Rangers players even anywhere near that.
A very honest assessment is always from you, Alex. I always like to hear what you've got to say on the game.
He's biased.
I think he's the best pundit we've got. I think we should.
No, he's not.
Yes.
No, he's not.
Aye.
We George is great.
Well, George is good, but nothing about David of football.
Yeah. Can I give you my team?
Aye, on you go, Big Al, and I'll come back to Alex. Go on then.
Right, we'll shake up like we said we're going to shake up. So I'll go 4-4-2. I'm going to go Patterson, Golson, Balogun, and Bassey. I'm going to have Kelly, Lundstrom, Arfield, and Bacuna, and I'm going to have Sakala and right up front. We're going for goals. We're going for shots outside the box.
All right, Alex, it was a step up.
Thanks.
Aye. I just feel Bridgeman's just fell off his feet, Big Al.
I know. It was him that did say shake it up a bit, so I thought, anyway.
That's the problem, but I think Stevie G will be 4-3-3. You're going to get that all the time, which is fine if it's successful.
I'm not brave enough.
Alex, Sunday's game becomes a game we could do with a nice, comfortable and a decent performance just to get a spring in the step in.
Well, that's what it's about now, isn't it? We've just got to step it up. We move on to the next game, as Bridgeman says. That was a good that was a task for us there against that team. Your favourites, one of the favourites to go at least the last 8 in the tournament, so let's not be kidded about that. Just a wee bit disappointed. I thought we could have put more into the game, Rangers and that. We all get in there, you're in at the match and you're like, right, we're up for it. But in the middle of the park, honestly, you could see they'd 5 players on there, by the way, and they just dominated the full midfield. and we're all over the place. The forwards, Morelos, I thought he was not too bad, but he seems to come deep to try and win the ball because there's no passes goes through for the guy. And what I did notice, Big Bonner, he was nothing doing that left wing. At the end up, he thought he was outside left. And as soon as he's up there and the ball gets lost, he's then got to backtrack. And he's absolutely well out of position. So I don't know where the left winger was supposed to be. We had Ryan Kent playing there at the beginning, and then he just, as you said, he got a free roll. I don't know, but down the left side was absolutely non-existent.
Well said, mate. Well said. Look, let's start moving on to Sunday, and we'll focus on Sunday's game, Jaffer. Yeah.
Yep.
It's the flag day. We get the flag for the 55th league title. After this, I think we have to park it and move on. It's all about 3 points and all about 56 now, mate.
Well, the fans obviously are looking forward to the Sunday Oaks for a multitude of reasons, because it's the day we can cheer the team and thank the team for their efforts. But you're right, it's over now. 55, we've done it, we've achieved it. It's in the history books. We're sitting top of the league. We've not played great, we all admit that, but we're top of the league. We've lost one, and we've won 4. So Sunday is all about 3 points, and just getting back to hopefully doing the right things right and turning out the right Rangers team with the right attitude. And hopefully between the now and Sunday, Stevie G and Michael Beale and all the rest of them can do that. But it'll be a good day, Ox. I'm looking forward to it.
I think the way they sold it is it's a day for the fans. Bridgeman?
I agree there. It's a game for the fans. Every game's a game for the fans. The game against Motherwell is going to be really taut because we, Rangers, need to win this game. It's an absolute must that we win this game. It was actually a must that we win last night, but we couldn't do it. But we're not going to be playing against a Leon team in Saturday or Sunday, whatever day it is, I think Saturday. So we need to go and do what we need to do. It's Sunday, of course. We need to go and do what we need to do. Rangers need to raise their game to a level that they're no used to for 90 minutes. That's what I'm meaning. I don't mean they're no used to raising their game. But they need to play for 90 minutes at Ibrox and let the fans show that they can still play football.
Hi, James, for Tennessee.
Yeah, I think we need to get a spark in the team because we need to score a few goals, get a better spring in our step, and then move forward, the whole team. And then because teams are playing in the Europa League are not too bad, actually. So we want to actually get some victories there. But I think we can be positive and let's get behind the team. Although sometimes I say we could sign better players, but there is a lot of good players out in the continent. I don't know why we don't have Alfred Newman be one of our scouts in Holland, for instance. Why are we letting him be with AZ Alkmaar? He could get some decent players. There's always gems out there to find, and I can give you a few, but I'll do it the next time. But I'm going to go then. So I'll be delighted to talk to you all. And why do we not get a Zoom meeting where we can actually see our faces? What a one-off, Oxchair.
We've done that, mate, a few weeks ago, and everyone has ended up on the sick.
Yeah. You don't want to put yourself through that, James. I've met a few of them.
Well,
I'm still scared to meet Big Al.
Well, I'd love to see a picture of Big Al in Australia with a kangaroo.
With a bunch of smugglers on.
Yeah.
Have you got my email address? Can you get my email address off Ox or something? What's your phone number?
Don't give it. Don't give it.
Well, no, I'm just trying to see on that Skype thing. Because I've always wanted to go to Tennessee.
Well, put it this way. I'm on the Rangers FC under Mount Juliet Soccer. If you look up Mount Juliet Soccer Club in Tennessee, you'll see my face.
Right. Okay.
Mount Juliet Soccer Club, that's a little club I run. It's just one-to-one training. But I was always.
I've just
I might
picked
go
that
to
up there,
Australia.
James. Oh, James. What's that moustache all about? You look like Tom Selleck.
Yeah. I was going to say, I want to go for the Women's World Cup in 2023 to Australia. I would love to go to Australia.
Well, you're here in Australia 2023, and me and Big Al will do a road trip in Tennessee.
These are always
house swap thing.
These are always welcome to come, by the way. They're always welcome to come.
Don't say that, mate. Don't say that. I told them that once. I've had them for a month. Couldn't get rid of any of them.
Well, I like to see the Rangers supporters. I've always been nice to them, and they're nice to me. I know you joke around with me a wee bit, but I can take that. Yeah, but these are welcome anytime to Tennessee. In fact, the World Cup's coming in 2026, and so I can tell you the places to go if you want to come.
Hey, Gal, get it sorted. We're off.
Right, I'm gonna go. I'd love to be getting to Tennessee, man. Can I play with your guns when I get there?
No.
I was shooting with my son. I was shooting with my son a few days ago, and I was shooting the gun, and the cartridge fell out. I pressed the release button at the same time, so bang, and that dropped. And my son was shooting. It was quite good in the gun. Yeah, plenty of gun clubs.
Oh dear.
Oh. Can we go beaver hunting?
No, you always go too far. Right, James?
No, I mean... Take care, James. All the best, mate.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Right, love you. Take care.
Oh, dear.
I've been slipped up there.
Nearly.
Aye, nearly, aye.
Right,
sorry,
Alex.
boys.
Flag Day, Sunday. What does it mean to you?
Well, it means the world to me. Oh, it's a fantastic day. We're all looking forward to it. As long as the team go to professional, remember we're there to play football as well. Just don't get carried away with the full event and that. But this is it, isn't it? This is the one that we're craving for. And we've got it and that. And let's go now and put a performance on for the support and that, because they've been absolutely brilliant behind the team from day one away back doing the lower divisions and that to where they now. So everything's good that way. So I'm looking forward to it now on Sunday. I just had to get my wee bit off, because when I came back for the game last night, I was a wee bit kind of disappointed with it. I'll just say a thing as well. I'll say a thing I know. I still get the tickets in for Dundee, right? That's a week on Saturday. How much do you think the tickets are?
35.
38 quid.
That's dearer than what we paid last night, Alex.
That's what I was just turning and saying to two boys there. That should be getting them through. That's it. 38 quid to go to that Dens Park. It's £31 and it's £7 for special delivery or something like that. So there you go.
Is that because
scandalous?
Is that because the postmen are not delivering much or anywhere?
I don't know what the hell's going on, but that's what they're charging.
38 quid.
I stand out at home. A European game last night, £38. So there you go, work it out. But I'll still be there. This is the thing. So it's a love of the club.
Here, mate. Here. That's a week in Saturday, isn't it?
Week Saturday here, float kick off Dens Park, 38 quid.
That'll be strange going to a football match at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, won't it?
Aye. Probably will be home about 10 o'clock that night.
Well, you're doing well. Jaffa, the Flag Day, obviously, traditionally at the start of the season, first game of the season, home game. I think it was a wise move. What's your thoughts on it, mate? Is it a big deal because it's maybe 5-6 games into the season?
I think it is a big deal, Ox. Aye, for the fans in particular. I think it was a good move by the club because COVID rules were still prevailing and not allowing the stadium or the fans in the stadium. I think it was a good move to wait until this period. I get it's a wee bit, a a bit of a disruption, I guess, for some, for maybe some people might view it as on the outside. But I think for the fans' point of view, I think it'll be a great day. And hopefully it'll give the team a lift, Ox. The stadium, we're going to be rocking. The fans are up for it. The ones I've spoken to anyway, and most of the Bears that I've spoken to are highly looking forward to it. So the players hopefully get a lift off it. Hopefully their heads are not too down after last night, and we move on.
Mm-hmm. They shouldn't be doing about last night, Big Al. They're a cut above. We've got to be honest, we're on this journey. They're a cut above, so you have to dust yourself down and go on with your bread and butter.
Oh, I would hope so. They're professional football players. That's the simple. You got beat, take it on the chin, get back up, get right back into it again. I'm sure the manager will be telling that, and I don't think you need to tell a lot of the players that. I'm sure Alan McGregor will be saying that in the changing room. I'm sure Stephen Davis will be saying that. I'm sure Scott Arfield will be saying that. I'm sure Morelos will be. I'm sure they'll all be saying that. It's a big day tomorrow. It drew a line under 10 years of hurt for us, didn't it? So I'm really pleased for you guys that'll get there. It's a big day for us. We go on Sunday. We did the damage. We'll get a bridge, man. Be happy enough. The fans, you boys get a drink, do whatever you need to do after the game. It's a big celebration for us, isn't it? It's one of the things.
It's a big celebration.
It was a long time in coming.
It's a big celebration.
It was a long time in coming.
Support this weekend because obviously there'll be a lot of people involved.
I was reading that. Aye, good on yous, man. Aye, loud and proud, boys. Aye, get it out there.
I
can't wait to see the papers on Monday, right enough. That's
There we go.
Aye. Can I just mention one thing?
Yes,
in regards to what was BT Sport thinking about even?
Oh, mate,
was they too many to commentate in our game?
No, they were there to
Is that the way I read that?
Panel for the other game and show them there. Yeah, I think. Listen, I don't.
How crazy is that BT Sport?
Well, how naive.
Ah, come on.
Well, do you think deliberately? Do you think deliberately? Right.
Maybe.
Trying to antagonise us.
Are they two that stupid that they would rock up there anyway? Is that how stupid they two are?
I think they were obviously that stupid. I thought they were going to get in. That's exactly how I saw it.
See if the two of them walked down the street to go into the stadium. They deserve all they get. They're putting themselves in the firing line. So I've no sympathy for them. But one loves goats, the other one loves, I don't know what he loves. But anyway,
wave buys.
No. But I agree with you. I just don't know what BT were thinking. You know what I mean? That's the Souness and Walter doing if they do the next game when they're at home and we're away, that would be good. What do you think they would do that? Liam Souness and Walter Smith on the platform? I don't think so.
And the other thing as well,
will approach Souness, would they?
The other thing as well, Ox, BT are an official media partner of Celtic Football Club. They're not an official media partner of Rangers.
Aye, true, mate. Never thought of that, Jeff. You know, but I think Rangers made the right decision. Only Stuart Robertson knows why.
Get in there.
It was the right decision.
Stuart Robertson's the dude. That's what he is.
Oh, what we got?
But the Big Lebowski?
Aye, but he's the dude. Aye, he's got a long hair and the wavy black hair and all that.
No, we're not letting you in it. You're not getting to speak on it. The lawyers have warned us.
It's not any David the BBC.
No, I'm talking about Robertson.
You got a llama?
Hang on, calm down, let him speak.
Do you want a llama?
Sorry.
Do you want a llama?
No, I like alpacas.
Yeah, okay, you stick with them then. I was just going to say that I'm one of the probably quite outspoken about Robertson. I don't think he's been a great CEO or general manager for us. But this last month, I think he's been absolutely brilliant. And I have to take my hat off to you, Oxford. You've been telling me that for the last just about 2 years now. Don't be surprised. He seems to be doing very well based on what you had heard. And I have to take my hat off to you. Well said, pal, because I'm really, really happy what he said this last wee while. Very, very happy. And I apologise to him publicly. I apologise.
Listen, he can only do what his bosses tell him. Remember that. He's an employee, so he does what he's told. In some regards, he's got some freedom, but he's instructed by his employers.
I think BT, or somebody in BT is at it, doing that. Just at it. And I lied to the likes of the press who don't like us and they don't want to come to Ibrox anyway.
One at a time.
I lied to them. The whole thing to me was a stitch up. What it was going to do was going to, yourself, they would be seen. They would definitely be seen by the Rangers fans before the Rangers game, coming into that box and so on, or going out of that box. So somewhere along the line, they would have got pelters from the Rangers fan. Absolute pelters.
They'd have been in the box about 5 o'clock right for the start of that other game, wouldn't they? So nobody would have been at the stadium. But when everybody started arriving, they would have been...
Exactly. Somebody would have seen them and gave them some stick. And of course, you know what would happen. Fairs there and all the rest of it.
Dealt with all that. The club done the right thing, Bridge.
I agree.
Yes. Right.
Yep.
Right, Alex. Motherwell. Obviously, you're a local team in some respects, but they haven't been doing no, but I've just really seen them this season, but it might not be as easy as some people think on Sunday.
Absolutely. I'll not be a gimme. Their results have been not too bad. I mean, they beat Aberdeen there, or was it last week? It seems to have a good, what do you call it, kind of a wee good squad of players in there, don't it? So, I'll know about Rangers, what do you call it, how we start, how we go about the business and that, get the high tempo going. But they'll work for it, I know, Motherwell, but it's all about Rangers. Let's make this a start of it for the Championship, man. Hopefully we can get into a good routine with the results.
Yeah, it's all about God in a run. Look, if we win on Sunday, we're still top of the league, Jaffa. Doesn't matter what anybody else does.
It's all that matters, Ox. It's all that matters to us as our club and our fan base. If we like we always say, if we turn up, we win and we play to the levels that we can. And by the way, we still played very well last night in parts of the game. We were up against a top class team. I think we turn up on Sunday, we get the right personnel out there. Let's just get the guys out that are fit and able to give us the 90 minutes that we're looking for and freshen it up a wee bit. Let's not make too many changes, but freshen it up.
All right, I've got Fox has got a bonus for us. Let's see what Alan McCoy's had to say. This the biggest story ever to break in the press in the last millennium, even. Let's see if there's super.
Puts it right. Yeah, I've got to say, Chris, I found it very, very surprising when I arrived at Ibrox last night. Looking forward to the game, I was expecting to see yourself and Neil, and I was very, very surprised not to see the two of you. I think we're going down a dangerous route if we're stopping freedom of speech. We turn into Beijing, we turn into Moscow. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that everything can be resolved, hopefully very, very soon.
Ali, what's the press do?
Ali's got to watch what he says as well, I must admit. He really does. That can be taken the wrong way very easily.
Aye.
Diplomacy.
Aye, of course.
I was waiting for the punchline there. There was no punchline. Did you cut a bit out?
No, it wasn't me, mate. Fox said it. Yeah, but you just wanted to leave it out. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. So we move on to Sunday. We've got players out, but it's up to others to take up the cudgel. Big Al, it's opportunity for people to get a jersey and keep it.
I know, but like I gave you a team. He's kind of sniggered at the team, and then you said right after it that the manager will not change it, so he'll go with the players.
Do you think he will?
No, but he should be doing it, should he not? But is that not what we've been saying tonight? He needs to shake it up. So you get there. So Motherwell this week, no, Rangers are going to take the field a 4-3-3, right? No, they're going to do that. So Motherwell do the tactics, right? But about maybe just think outside the box for a week or two and maybe play a 3-5-2
2 or a 4-4-2, or do something different. Play the players that you've signed and give them a chance. Your Bakunas, your Sakalas, your Scott Wrights. Give them a run in the team. Just change it. If he does the same thing again and then you're on Sunday after the game, and we're all frustrated, but we've got 3 points. Well, we've got 3 points, but in the bigger picture of things, we're not getting value for money. You're talking about paying 38 quid a ticket. That seems a lot for that. Are you getting value for money for that? Or are you quite happy just to walk away with the 3 points? You've had value for money. Rangers are in the entertainment business. They need to start entertaining. It's as simple as that.
It's sport. The other teams know they're just to let you do what you want, Alex. But we've got to be a bit cuter.
Exactly. I quite agree with Big Al there. I think we need to make some changes now and get these young guys in. I think young Kelly could certainly come in there and play his part in the centre of midfield. I don't see any difference there. He's already played with Ross County. He's played against these teams in the SPL, so I wouldn't think that's much of a chance. Scott Wright, if he's fit, definitely play him. The Acuna guy, well, we've seen him on the sidelines and that, you know, so he must be near fitness. I would play him as well and really go for it, see what these guys have made it.
Jaffa?
Yep, I agree. I would like to see a few changes in the team. I would like to see a change in shape when it's required. Especially against what Motherwell, we know what they're going to do. They're going to put 2 banks of 5. They're going to play a 5-4-1 or along the lines of that. So we know what we're going to get. So it would be good to see a change in our shape and maybe surprise them, catch them off guard. That would be my take on it.
Bridgeman, that's I think the point Big Al's making is you want to be less predictable and more shaped.
Oh, absolutely. But I think like we spoke about it a wee bit. We played very well in big patches of that game. We played very well. I would say that in the first half we certainly had more shots than them on target, and the goalkeeper made a couple of nice wee saves. But how can I say it? There are areas of our team where you can see the quality isn't quite there. And that might be that the person or the players who were involved may not be 100% physically fit and match fit. So that's got to come. But we've got a good team, but we're not at the quality. We're probably short of maybe 2 or 3 quality players, as we would call quality players. I would suggest we're maybe short of that. Then you would get a team.
It's building. And we want to progress. We're a demanding support, Big Al, but with a realistic support as well.
Aye, but what Bridge is saying is correct as well. But and then it maybe goes back to what the manager said in his press conference. He's got substandard players. He didn't get his top targets, but that's frustrating for us as fans, and it must be a hell of a frustrating for the manager. He's trying to implement a style of play, and he's got a player at the second or third choice just because of the financial restrictions. So they need to work their magic with their players. It may take a few weeks. May never happen with some players. Like take Etten, for example. I take it the manager doesn't really fancy him. He brought him in, probably not his first choice. Brought him in, thought, well, we can maybe utilise this player, get him doing this, get him doing that. It never happened for the boy. So we need to start again. It's very frustrating. It must be frustrating for the management team. It must be frustrating, I'll tell you one thing, it must be frustrating for the guys that hold the purse strings at Ibrox as well, because I think they're looking at, we get these players in, 1 or 2 seasons later, we sell them for a fortune. That's not happening. They say that's their model, but I don't see them doing anything with that kind of model.
No, not at the moment, mate. And maybe that was the rule, but did they bring in some players to keep the players, you know? You know what I mean? But we'll see.
Look, if we get 3 points, that's it, mate. Get 3 points.
But you're right, mate. We want to see a performance as well. Alex, we want to see a bit of decent football as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Want to get there and play some really good football, give the fans something. Well, obviously sing about and that. But the most important thing is the 3 points in that again, and stay at top of the table. Because at the end of the day, all that's what it's about, is to win this league. And this is just another obstacle. And I'm sure we'll score a couple of goals. And Sunday.
Alec.
Yeah.
How old are your laddies?
My boys are 28 and 25.
Oh, sorry, I thought that, well, maybe. Like, I was on about that age when I was watching your Advocates team and Walter Smith's team and that, and you seen good games, you know what I mean? There was a lot to jump about and sing and dance about. It must be frustrating for your boys going to these games, and the only thing they've got to come away with is the 3-point thing. I feel the boys deserve a lot better. If they're going home and away, they deserve to see a team that's on the park that they can say, I used to go to my work and talk about players. Neil McCann done this and Lovenkran's done this and this one done that. And, you know, it must be frustrating for your laddies. They deserve better. They deserve better if they're following Rangers home and away. They deserve better. They need stuff to talk about. So come on, Rangers, pull up your socks.
Absolutely, that's what it's like. All the young fans that are on about it, they look back and they see the videos what Rangers was like. Graham Souness and all that, you know. They've seen the times these kids for the lower divisions and that. They're just quite happy now that they've seen Rangers winning a league, right? So now they just keep going on. And but when you see about players, you talk about a way back, you know, Baxter and Souness and all these guys that we had, Davy Coopers. These young kids are looking up to, no disrespect, Ryan Kent and all that. There isn't any comparison to these guys. So that's the kind of level of football they're looking at now. When they go to these European games and they're seeing these stars for other teams, they're like, wow, these are some players. And Rangers are going to compete with them. And they do quite well. Rangers, let's be quite truthful over the last 4 years. But last night you could see the wee difference there with the step up. It doesn't do any harm like watching better footballers on the park, but that's what it's about. That's
you're like your team, though.
No, you're right, Al. That's what it's about. They're just for their doing that. They're there. All these young supporters are there, 100% behind the team and that, you know. So good times will come for them and all. They'll have a good day tomorrow. Good day and Sunday.
Well, gentlemen, you'll not believe it. We've reached that time of the evening. I did try to negotiate some overtime, and Fox told me politely, let it go, Bridgeman.
Sounds like Fox, doesn't it?
You know?
No dear, a minute overtime. We'll no dear a minute, Ox.
No, nothing, mate. No premium, no nothing. Unbelievable.
Great, Joe. Thanks for having me on, Ox. It's been brilliant to talk about the Bears as always and the Teddy Bears. Looking forward to Sunday. Can't wait. Flag Day.
Here. Big Al, thanks as usual, mate. Always good to hear from you, big man.
No, thank you very much for your service.
No bother. Alex, an absolute pleasure as always, mate.
Thanks a lot, Alex. Beautiful, brilliant show again tonight. Fantastic, thank you.
We helped make it along with George UK and James from Tennessee who came in and joined us. Over to you, the bridge.
Oh, what can I say? Again, well done, Oxter. And of course, your team at the back. Really, really good show. Loved it every minute. Marvellous. And thank you very much to Jaffa for helping me out and co-hosting. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, I've got 2 sleeps now to see the Rangers. 2 sleeps. And we're coming. Motherwell, you're coming to Ibrox. Flag Day, we're going to bump you right off the bat. Everybody keep it going to the Rangers, because the Rangers need us. Keep it going.
Here. We've got some big things coming Rangers Radio way. You might get some news next week, and there's a big announcement coming. We're looking forward to announcing it. Stay tuned for that. It's coming soon. Thanks for everybody taking part. Thanks to the callers. Thanks to Jaffa and Bridgeman. Old School Blue and Fox. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back at 2 o'clock for Flag Day, when I'll be joined by Jaffa. Take it away. Old School Blue.
Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. Won't you come and cheer us? Help the boys along. White and blue, coming through with a song. Oh, Rangers, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. We'll be there to do it, Rangers. Do it if we can, Rangers. Win the cup, hold it up in our hands. Oh, Rangers, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay.